Hey, single lady, I am excited to come and to talk with you this week. I'm Shanna Schutte, author, speaker, and dating and relationship coach for Single Over 30, and I help single over 30 women learn how to attract a trustworthy, marriage-minded man. All right, so this week I want to talk to you about something that keeps coming up in coaching, and it's one thing that can sabotage your love life without you even realizing it. Are you doing it? I know I did. Stay tuned. All right, so I want to talk to you about something that happens in a lot of women's lives as we get older that can cause us to sabotage our love life, and that is being overly self-protective. Now, before you say, okay, I'm not overly self-protective, I want to talk with you about a little story and then talk to you about how being overly self-protective shows up in our lives. So I used to do a lot of speaking, and I was speaking in Southern California one time about this topic of being overly self-protective. And there was a woman who came up to me afterwards, and she was just beside herself. She was just crying, just sobbing. She wrapped her arms around me. I don't think I've ever seen anybody cry that hard in my whole entire life. And she was just sobbing and thanking me and telling me she finally understood why she married 3 men that she didn't love. And she said that's because she was being overly self-protective. She said her father had been an alcoholic and he wasn't emotionally available in her life. And so love felt scary for her, right? It was frightening for her to consider the possibility of getting close to a man, and it was easier for her to marry and commit to men that she didn't feel for because that wasn't frightening for her. Her dad had been unavailable, and to want felt scary because he was not there for her, and so she let men into her life that she shouldn't let in. Now, the reason I say this is because there's so many women that I coach over the phone who talk to me about being overly self-protective. Now, they don't realize that they're doing it because just like with this woman, what they're thinking is that they're being wise, right? They're doing the right thing. Sometimes we think it's wisdom because we think, well, I'm just, I'm not being too picky. I'm not picking men apart. I'm just choosing wisely. When in reality, what we're doing is we're being overly self-protective. So there are lots of ways that being overly self-protective can show up in our lives. One is that we can let people in that we shouldn't let in, just like the woman that I talked with you about. 2, we can keep people out that we should let in. Like this woman may be keeping out men that could have been a good match for her because being vulnerable felt frightening. It can also show up in being picky, like I just mentioned, checking off our list. Nobody ever measures up, thinking that we've got to have a perfect relationship or a perfect person, because after all, if we can find the perfect person and the perfect relationship, then there's no chance of us getting hurt. Also, we can expect perfectionism in ourselves, right? I've got to have it more together before I have a relationship, because if someone really knows me, then they might reject me, and I don't think I can handle getting hurt, right? And so we're always waiting to be just a little bit better. Now, there does have to be some semblance of emotional health for us to be ready for a relationship, but nobody's perfect, and lots of imperfect people get committed and have awesome relationships, right? So we don't think that we have to be perfect to be loved. So I'm just bringing this to you because I want to help you think about, all right, so is there any place in my life where I am being overly self-protective? Am I demanding perfection? Do I keep men out that I really should let in? Do I find myself dating men who aren't good for me, or men who can't emotionally commit to me because that feels scary for me? There was a woman who was in my coaching program who told me that when she was younger, that she always dated men who were foreigners because she knew that she was never going to marry those guys, right? She didn't recognize this at a cognitive level at the time, that's what she was doing, but that was her way of keeping her heart safe. And so I just invite you today to think about this. And the last thing I want you to consider or think about is wherever there is fear, there is control. Right? So if you are being overly self-protective, you're being dominated by fear, and so you are being controlled. Sometimes we think we're the ones that are doing the controlling, because we think, well, I have, if I don't let particular people in or keep people out, we think that we're controlling the situation, that we don't have to be vulnerable, and so we feel in control, but really we are being controlled. And the last thing I want you to remember is that the dream you have to love and be loved really is possible. It really is. This is something I wrestled with a lot. I thought I was never going to be able to open my heart, and it happened for me. It can happen for you too. If you resonate with anything that I said, or you'd like to talk to me about any of your patterns or obstacles or places that are keeping you stuck from moving forward to finding that trustworthy marriage-minded man, I invite you to set up a free breakthrough session with me. I will help you overcome at least one of your biggest dating or relationship obstacles. All right, I look forward to talking with you soon, and you can snag that link down below, shannashudicoaching.com. Just click on the little yellow button. It will take you over to a form you can fill out so I can learn more about you, and then you can set up a time on my calendar. All right, I look forward to talking with you soon. Have a great day.